Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Wednesday night edition of Inside the Headset. Going to talk to my third private school, and going to talk to the other side of the bracket as we go back over to Memphis, and going to talk to the head coach of the Christian Brothers Purple Wave, head coach Thomas McDaniel. How you doing tonight, Coach?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well. Well, last Friday night you fell to Brentwood Academy 37-7, and this was a game that you said that you might find a little bit what you're made of. Of course, they have some talent on their side of the ball, but take it away, Coach McDaniel.
Uh, we got our butt kicked. It's like I told our boys Tuesday. Uh, a lot of times Coach Crawford, obviously who is my defense coordinator, and I, and my father-in-law, all that stuff, blah blah blah, talks about how we got to play perfect. We're not gonna win the look test in warm-ups against certain teams, and perfect's probably not the right word, but we gotta stay out of our own way. We gotta eliminate self-inflicted wounds. We gotta play clean, if you will, and we're having to overcome a lot of obstacles when you think about, I don't know, we lost our starting left tackle in the first quarter, lost our starting quarterback in the second quarter, lost the starting safety in the first quarter. So we were down three starters, midway through the second quarter. But, injuries are part of it, and everybody's got to deal with them, and they've had some injuries as well. But we had a lot of. I tend to not linger on the things that we can't control. We can't control the injuries. Like, these things happen as part of football. You got to move on. It's an excuse, but it's how you respond to it. And here's what I do know: it was 23-7 with about 2 minutes and 40 seconds to go in the second quarter. We drove the ball down, had it inside the 15-yard line, busted a big run. We had a guard get tripped up and fall, and his hand caught another kid's foot, and we had the ball inside the 5, and they called a holding penalty, and we were fixing to score to make it 23-14 right before halftime. Well, I'd told our kids, let's get to halftime and keep it close, and we have an opportunity to wear them down. Our quarterback ran for 14 carries and 130 yards. We rushed for 200 yards. We did a lot of good things. Gave up too many deep balls. Actually, the kicking game, all things considered, we probably pushed, which I think was a positive because I would have told you that they were better than us in the kicking game. But anyway, neither here nor there. It's 23-7. All we got to do is score and make it 23-14 at half when we get the ball after half, and we got we got something to work with. Well, we got a holding penalty, get back up, and again, excuses. But coaches, call me what you want, but my coaches want to talk about all the holding penalties instead of just coaching our players. Like, you can't control what the guys see or do. We can only dictate what our guys are doing. So, but it went from what could have been 23-14 to 30-7 at half because they went back down the field and scored. Well, again, we had a quarterback get hurt, and George, and give credit to their coordinator or whatever to see that there's you bring a new corner in with a quarterback like that, it's chum in the water, if you will. And so they went after him a couple times. He got a pass interference. He let one get over his head, and now all of a sudden instead of it being 23-14, it's 30-7, and now it's kind of like turn out the lights, the party's over, circle the wagons kind of deal. And that's just in a minute, literally in a minute of in a matter of 2 minutes, the complexity of the game changed, and it went from we're fixing to score and being this thing at halftime to 30-7, and it's out of reach at this point. So, it's interesting. Like, I watched college football all weekend, and actually hung out with one of your good friends, but watched college football all weekend, and. These guys spend all summer and all season and spring getting ready for their first game. And, some of the butt kickings that you saw this weekend, obviously there's a huge disparity in college football, but neither here nor there. everybody, man, everybody puts a lot of time in. Everybody puts a lot of, heart, soul, blood, sweat, tears into preparation. And it's still a matter of, like, you got to execute. You got to block and tackle. We had 17 missed tackles. On their last touchdown, we had PT exactly where we wanted him, and we missed a tackle. Well, I mean, you can't give up a swing route for a 25-yard touchdown. Like that, you can't let them throw a flare pass for a 25-yard touchdown. So we've got to be able to tackle people. So anyway, it's just the game can be, so fulfilling and exciting and great memories and all that stuff, but at the same time, you can have gut-wrenching things happen. And in this case, our kids have responded great this week. They've been resilient, but I think they're probably like me. They're frustrated because we had a chance to get it to halftime and make it interesting, and literally in a matter of 2.5 minutes, it turned south on us quickly, and that's unfortunate.
Well, and you talk about you can't be nice to the other team, or you can't give them gifts, especially to Brentwood Academy. You can't you're starting off on the wrong. If you, like you said, a missed tackle here, well, they burn you for 15 more yards. They got a first or whatever.
We had 17 of them. Yeah.
Yeah, and so when you have 17 missed tackles, it's you're going to get beat, like you said. I mean, the numbers are blaring out at you. And then, you talk about a quarterback, here you are at game 3, week 3, and you lose your quarterback, and not being mean to the other kid, but he was probably not thinking on the bus ride from Memphis to Nashville that, I'm probably going to play the whole second half. I mean, he's...
No. This was a corner, like a DB. Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, it was a corner, but neither here nor there. Our quarterback played great. It was a corner. It was our best DB. Like I said, we lost a safety and a corner.
Yeah.
And so when you got two, backups in there against George, that ain't great.
Yeah.
But again, neither here nor there. Those are excuses, and you got to try to teach kids and sometimes even adults, like, it is what it is. Like, we got to go with what we got. You got to figure out a way to make it happen. These are the ingredients. You still got to make the lemonade. And so we actually responded pretty well. It's just a couple turn of events late in the second quarter. If we don't get the holding call, we score probably.
Right.
All right. Again, now that's ifs and buts, and Merry Christmas and all that. But if we don't get the holding call, we're going to score. And that would have made it 23-14. With us getting the ball in the second half, and it's like, man, we're in the game.
Yeah.
But we didn't. They got, again, give George or their offensive coordinator, or a combination of both. They got the wherewithal and the intelligence to see, all right, they got another quarter in the game, and they went after it, and they took advantage of it. Now all of a sudden it's 30-7.
Yeah.
So, the momentum swings and the shifts and the things that can occur. We try to talk to them about how every play has a life of its own, and you got to play those 6 seconds, and you got to understand situational football and all this stuff. But again, they're kids, and sometimes you don't know until you get in there. And then when you get in there and you're going against McIntyre, who's throwing 14-yard comebacks that they've never seen thrown that way in practice, all of a sudden it's like, uh-oh. And then are you falling back on your fundamentals, or are you falling back on your fear? And so, like, you can do what you think you should do, and it's probably not good, or you can fall back on your fundamentals. What have we talked about? Where do your feet need to be? Where do your eyes need to be? What does your technique need to be? And we had too much where we weren't falling back on our fundamentals. And, again, as a learning lesson, it's something that we can grow from. And I definitely don't feel like it's, this is not killing my competitive spirit. I'm excited about the next opportunity, and we're going to keep working and all that stuff. But you do have to take whatever you get from a Friday night. You got to take something and learn from it. There's plenty for us to learn from. So like we came in this Tuesday, because I gave them off Monday, and it's like almost the scab is kind of you're kind of picking at it at that point. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
They've been off since Friday, and now you're gonna break that scab open after it's starting to heal. But it's like, man, there's valuable stuff to teach from on this tape, and we gotta learn and see where we got to finish this tackle on 4th and 4. But we had the 4th and 4 that we had TT in the backfield tackled, and he give him credit. He ran through the tackle after we stopped him, and Lunch Ford got a first down. Like, we got to stop them there. They gambled. We got to finish, and we did. Again, situational football, understanding what they're going to do. You're a new corner. You can expect them to come after you. It's one thing when you're facing. Again, I'm not trying to be critical of anybody else. But
I think it's great.
When you're facing a run-of-the-mill high school quarterback, you might get away with it. You ain't getting away with it when it's a 5-star quarterback. And we learned the hard way that, like, this kid, we got after him a couple times and we pressured him some, and he made some bad decisions. But if you give him a clean pocket, you give him time to get set up, he's going to sit there and throw 14-yard ropes over to the sideline, and you ain't got no good answers, and it's frustrating. So all stuff we can learn from. It's not the end of the world. The sun still came up, all that. I think from a coaching perspective, I know that I'm frustrated because it was, again, 2-something and change, and I thought, man, we're fixing to score here, and we're going to go in at halftime, and we're going to be in a ball game. And literally in a matter of about 6 plays, it went from we're fixing to score to it's 30-7. Now, again, are they better than us? Yeah. They got better players than us, maybe. Are they better coached than us? I guess so. But it's the momentum and the swings of the game that, like, can dictate so much, and that's just where we got to try to – because at the end of the day, I told you before, like, I don't care about anything else. I want us to play our best football at the end of the year. I want us to go as far as we can go and be the best team we can be. We've been riddled with just tons of injuries, and it's super frustrating. And, yeah, we could sit around and mope and pout about it, but what the hell good's that going to do? Like, it's next guy up, man. Like, grow up, get in there, let's go. And so, have we had more injuries than normal? Yes, but, I mean, ain't nobody to point a finger at. You just got to figure it out. So that's part of the challenge and the fun of going through the season, and some years are easier than others. This year it's been a lot of injuries. And so, I look at it as a learning opportunity for everybody, and we'll get better from it.
Well, you catch Hillcrest, and they're 1-2, and that's a home game. What do you know about Hillcrest, Coach?
Not much. I know that we've had lightning the last 2 days at practice. We've been up at the gym. We've had opportunities to get better at practice, and it's kind of gotten put on pause, so that's been frustrating. This is supposed to be a week for us to work on, fundamentals and just kind of clean some things up. And so I think it's frustrated our kids as well. But, we've got right now, we got to worry about Christian Brothers. And, again, can we, as another thing we did, we muffed a punt. We stopped them. Second time we stopped them in the first quarter. We just stopped them again on the third or fourth drive of the game, and we muffed a punt and gave it back to them on the 25. You can't do that to Brentwood Academy.
No, you got to flip the field. You got to flip the field.
Right, yeah. So anyway, we just we got to get better. We got to worry about us. We got to do things we can do to improve as a team, and I think we'll do that.
Well, you did talk about some penalties other than the ones that costed you from scoring. How did you shape out on penalties?
Not good. Yeah, I mean, we one penalty's too many, but we had a turnover. We had a couple false starts. We had a couple holds. We cannot operate and function. Like, if you take out a few plays, our quarterback played really well. But, we're not a team that's going to be able to manage 1st and 15 or 2nd and 12. And so, again, perfect is probably not attainable, so it's not really realistic to use, if that makes sense. But
yes,
we got to be cleaner. Yeah, we got to be cleaner than we're playing. It's not about our effort. I mean, like, again, it's fourth quarter, and we're still playing hard. Kids are fighting. They got good attitudes. We're not turning on each other. I mean, things could be a lot worse. Like, they're not. I know for me personally, I have a lot of reason to be happy. Like, they're coachable. They listen. But in these moments where really bad things occur, Because I do think, like, again, in those momentum swings when it's 23-7, do I think there were kids that thought that, hey, we're fixed going at halftime, like Coach said, right there in the thick of it, and then you look up 3 minutes later and it's 30-7. Yeah, I think the kids are smart enough to know that. So it's deflating, but they also know it's one game. And we got 10 games in the season, and we got to move on to the next one. So, again, always stuff to learn from, always things we get better at. Hopefully, again, we can correct some of these mistakes and keep improving, as we move forward through the course of the year.
So you did have a good Labor Day holiday other than the game?
Yeah, I did. I mean, I again, it's whether it be watching Dabo and them get beat up, or watching Butch Jones and them get destroyed, or watching. I mean, it's just funny. I mean, that's not funny. It's interesting especially when you're a coach and you just know what all these guys put into it, to see how deflating it can be when things don't go your way. You probably don't ever enjoy the winning as much as you should, but I've been able to put it in the back brain better as I've gotten older. But I did. One of your buddies came to my game and ended up spending some time with him on Saturday and watched the Tennessee Vols and watched kind of a bunch of games. But it was good. Spending time with my wife, getting away from football for a day, having a little bit of it wasn't a staycation, but a staycation. I was in your neck of the woods. I was in the borough. I was back.
You were. I know where you were now. I know where you were.
It's a gentleman that goes. A lot of people, like to refer to as old Jughead.
Yeah.
And so, got to spend some time with him, which was good, and his wife, and just relaxed and got away from it for a day, and then back to the grind.
Yeah, we went up to the lake house and watched football, and Judy and I just kind of hung out and had meat and cheese and crackers and whatnot, and just kicked back and watched a little football down at about 2.5 hours away from here. But we had a good time.
I got my first taste of two swings in probably 5 years.
Wow.
It's been a long time, man. Got a Buster Burger on Saturday.
Okay.
Which was great because I hadn't had a Buster Burger in forever. And then Saturday night, I don't really know how this works, but I was his guest, and I cooked dinner. And so maybe because he paid for the steaks, I'm supposed to cook them.
Okay.
But we had some big 2-inch cut ribeyes that were just perfect. So it was all good, man. It was, like I said, I've said before, I'm blessed. I just, I'd like to win a few more games.
I understand, Coach, and we wish you the best of luck Friday night. Maybe things will turn around, and the Purple Wave will get to doing its thing.
The Purple Passion. I appreciate you, Sword.
See you, bye.
See you, bud.